Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Capricorn, and always a big welcome to the other zodiac signs, because sometimes we feel drawn to a reading or to a specific constellation, and sometimes we just need an inspiration for that day, because what is happening here, we all feel that, but of course you particularly, my dear Capricorn, feel it much stronger because the moon is in your sign, and the moon is the subconscious. The moon is that deeper look into ourselves. So here we have the sun in Gemini and of course the moon in Capricorn, and these two cards speak about that this is mutable and you are cardinal. And here is the end, which we feel in the next few days. We're going to switch when we look at the sun into Cancer, and of course you begin the winter. So just this alone is a huge reading, is a huge message, which is of course bringing to this reading the consciousness or the awareness that what it is that we're doing here. Why are we here? Because the tarot is playing with our subconscious, and in the subconscious there are archaic pictures that speak to us through the tarot itself. Now, I'm doing this reading because I'm studying the tarot, because I'm creating my own tarot. And I teach teacher trainings, yoga teacher trainings, and of course I want to combine the tarot with yoga positions. Because in the end, I don't want you to just see a picture, I really want you to feel through your body the message coming through. Now here we have King Pigeon, which I picked for the lovers, the conscious, that's looking into the subconscious up to the higher conscious. So there is a cycle, there is a three, there's a triangle, the trinity that we often speak about. And the arms that are connected as the body part for Gemini are reaching back into the subconscious, into the feet. And so there is this triangle just by the position itself. And here are the lovers in the world feeling this big message coming down from the sky. For you, I created through the dancer pose, through the god Pan, which is frolicking, which is enjoying himself, which is giving us in the dark. We do things that we would usually not do in the light, but also the feminine is that sexual energy that we are attached to a cycle that the next generation is coming into this world. So it's kind of, we're dancing through three steps. We have the first chakra, we're skipping this and go directly into the heart, and from the heart we can directly go into the third eye, which is then here above, which is always the pentagram that's pointing down to the third eye, and through the horns, through the hair, we can reach then into the higher consciousness through the third eye, right? So it's like these steps, also through the colors, that we can go up to the mountain, because you are a mountain goat. You're even the Himalayan mountain goat that climbs the most up. Now you are the calves, the body part are the calves, because you have that strong push that gets you up any mountain, even these kinds, right? So the court card that is for you is the Queen of Pentacles. If your birthday is between the 12th of December and the 8th of January, this is your court card. Very specific. Now these three cards I did not pick. These I show as a demonstration that Sun in Gemini is highlighting the moon in your sign, and this is your court card. Now I have altogether 20 different tarot and oracle cards lying here, and I go as far back as the 15th century. And so very interesting, I just got the Visconti Sforza Tarot, which is a love story in itself, which is The Lovers. And the family Visconti had a daughter, the family Sforza had a son. And back then, money married money. It was a contract. It was a sign that we need to save the money because money was quickly coming and going. And so the families were creating these very strong, elaborate contracts between their riches. And so to show that you are very rich was back then a sign to show to the world, look, we are having this amount of money. So they painted 78 tarot cards for the couple that got married. And I mean, this is back then, that was like, oh my God, I mean, who had the money to do such a thing? And each time when there is a male, then it's him, and if it's a female, then it's the daughter. So this is the first card that I pick, and of course, very beautifully, we have the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups here in this tarot deck shows us the dove, the central energy. Everything is always in the middle, but we have two wings. We have the choice. Even in the higher love, they didn't make just one cup and one stream. They actually show that it needs to, even out of this dove comes these two that become one. So it's a very beautiful way of saying true love is accepting the duality, and this is what the sun is highlighting. The duality of these two people, the duality of opening up yourself for the other, the feminine triangle that's pointing down and the masculine triangle that's pointing up, and creating in there the flower, the new seed, the new flower that's growing out of it. These were created around 1450, and now we're going into Oswald Wirth. He was part of the Kabbalistic Rose Cross Order that was created or formed 1888 in France. So these have a French name. Le Monde, number 21, which then becomes a 3, which is connected to the Empress. And so here we see the world can only really evolve if there is a true love, a higher love. Then you can take this world on. Then you have the fixed sign, which is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius are in the corner. Then these fixed signs give us an understanding that the world is a fixed energy, but you can come into the center and evolve out of this beautiful love, go further and take on the world by love, only by love, right? Because otherwise we just become dependent. Now here, the next card speaks about the Four of Pentacles. This is the Hermetic Tarot, which was used in the Order of the Golden Dawn that was formed also 1888 in London. Now you get a little bit of a history here because I'm using the most important tarot decks that have really shown the path of evolving further and further. And out of this order comes Arthur Waite and Aleister Crowley, two people that were very, very important also in the evolution of the tarot. The Four of Coins always speaks about, or the Four of Pentacles speaks about the Lord of earthly power, a power that is foundational, fixed. So the same, then these fixed signs create a strength, create something where then the feminine can grow, and always the 4 is a masculine number, and she is in that circle. She's here saying, yeah, I am looking back at this true love. This true love is holding me accountable, because out of the true love, the divine feelings, I can grow, right? I can evolve. So here you have then the 4 corners giving you a financial stability, a strength that's saying, yes, you can be strong. You can be holding on to that. Now here comes the Golden Dawn Tarot, which was recreated as the tarot that was there before this one. Now this is 1888. Like I said, this was created 1978, but I use it that you can see that this was there before this one, but was created much later, because they never published this one. That was the foundation for the order of the Golden Dawn, or the Hermetic Tarot, right? So there is this whole story in there. Now from there comes the 7 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords is Moon in Aquarius. So there is this fixed sign here, the Aquarius, right? The angel that is speaking to you and saying, just be careful that you are mentally not going into a direction that is then making you run away from responsibilities, because the world, the suffering of the world, right, and then the earthly power that you have to learn to hold yourself, still mentally you get challenged that sometimes certain commitments are not something you really feel that you can hold, because the flower, the rose, is right here in that one clear thought. That one clear thought is the only way to hold a commitment to yourself, which is the truth, which is the clarity, which is being honest to yourself, whatever comes up in this 4 of Pentacles. Then comes Arthur Waite, the Rider-Waite, which was created 1920, right? So I have this one, and underneath I have the 7 of Swords. But you have now, if you hold this very clear and the other 6 swords, you let that go, you know that you will get a certain financial push. Adding to the 4, then you have 5 coins, adding to it that you know that true love will always bring money, even if in your mind you think you can escape from that truth. The true love and the true money is something that is always sustainable, that is always holding itself to, because what comes then after is here the 9 of Swords, which is cruelty, which is now Aleister Crowley, 1969, right? So usually this comes after, but I put it there because it was recreated to the tarot that was before this. So it's almost like this is here, this sneakiness is giving you the balance, but it's not a stable balance, but it's coming here, right? And I see that you need to learn more. You need to learn to understand that if you holding on to this earthly dimension, you will always get challenges, right? You will always get strong challenges, and those strong challenges are now giving you here quite a nightmare, quite a story where you are, I mean, the 9 is Mars and Gemini, and so Gemini is speaking directly through the sun to you, which is the lord of cruelty and despair, which is nightmares, which is something that you don't want to repeat, you don't want to continue, right? Then comes, thankfully, through Dali, 1970, 1969. 1970, Dali, the Wheel of Fortune is coming up. Now this is Spanish, right? Of course with English, La Rueda de la Fortuna. Now, of course, why I'm having all these different languages is I speak German, I speak English and French, and I don't speak Spanish, but I understand a little bit Spanish through the French. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is speaking very strongly to you that everything is coming and going, everything is shifting, everything is changing, and so is that circle of the world, as the world is spinning, the world is turning around the sun, and each time is showing us that it is stationing in another sign. Right now it's stationing still in Gemini, but in a few days we are looking at Cancer. So the Wheel of Fortune is giving you also very interesting that the subconscious is speaking through these cards to us. And here in this one there is no symbols, no signs in this half, and in the lower half are the symbols. So deep down in the dark we understand that the darkness is giving birth to the subconscious, is giving birth to looking back into the feet, is reaching back into the feet, because like I said, the body parts of Gemini are the arms and the hands, and for you the body parts are the calves, that's the dancer. It's like pushing up, and she's also reaching back into the feet, and we see the calves here. So reaching back into the subconscious is helping you to see through all of these symbolisms that the tarot and the oracle cards are bringing to you, is helping you to understand something on a much, much deeper level. Then comes Hermann Handel, 1985. Hermann Handel, a German artist, which was in the World War II really challenged, but was, I mean, the story itself is crazy. He was saved by a Jewish Russian soldier, and he was fighting in the World War II against, I mean, we know the story. So he dedicated later on himself to the tarot, and he put, of course, all the Hebrew signs and symbols in his major arcana. And here you come up, the devil itself, with the snake that is wrapping itself around through the sword of truth and through the tree of life. And of course the snake is here with the female, with the feminine, which is always the dark side, which is always that side, which is the sexual energy. And so you are challenged here to find the third eye, to find really this going up into your third eye, so that you can, through the hair, grow an understanding, grow a spiritual understanding. And you yourself are coming up. Then the last, which is the Medicine Woman, which is 1988. So exactly 100 years later, you get Death card. You get here the sunset, but also it's the sunrise. It's a cycle of how the sun is going down, is kind of dying, but is coming back up in the next morning and is refreshed and has a whole new day. But the sun is always there, right? It just seems for us that the sun is gone, but the earth is turning in such a way. So this card is saying this is a death ritual to a higher consciousness that is coming up within you. And this circle or this cycle is very important, that you're letting go the old way of how you have doing things, how you have sometimes been quite brutal to yourself, how you have this way of moon in Aquarius, sneaking away, going away, having no efforts, or actually having no commitment to a higher consciousness. Sneaking. The 7 is again quite a challenge. The 7 is Netzach, right? And Netzach is saying the victory that you think that you're having is not really a true victory. But here you get really pushed to get challenged and to be realizing that, yeah, he is walking into the sunset, and he is realizing the sun will rise again, and there's a new day. There's no death, there's just a huge transformation. So now you come up here, and I have the hooray, hooray card that is before that, the number 43. So the hooray, hooray is saying you have realized something in this first line. You have realized something quite profoundly, that you don't do certain things anymore, that you are counting onto the true love, and that this love is actually bringing you forward. You're looking at the financial perspective of, yes, here I am with the 4, but God is giving me another one, and you're looking at that one that God has given to you. You're pregnant with this awareness, you're pregnant with a new consciousness, and so you can say hooray, hooray, and celebrate of having understood something, having understood that the Wheel of Fortune, a 1 and a 0, is actually speaking to you, is actually helping you to shift from the devil, from being maybe attached sometimes to the financial outcome of how you handle business, how you handle relationships, and that here the sunset is, or a Scorpio, right here you are Capricorn, and here's a Scorpio, is speaking directly to you and saying, let go of that, because new things can come and you can celebrate. Now after that comes a lullaby, the number 38, and the nightmare that you have had for yourself by having 9 swords, and of course 7 swords, that's 16 swords, which is connected to the Tower, right? And the Tower is like the number 16. 9 and 7 is 16. So the Tower, which comes after you, is you letting go. You're really letting go from 15 into the 13, letting go of what money makes you do, because new money is coming. Always new money is coming. So now you're challenged to really understand the 38, which is the 11, a portal, right? A portal that is giving you the right kind of music, the right kind of lullaby to bring you forward in your endeavors, in what you want to do. Because then you get another 2 of swords, the 2 of air, which is moon in Libra, which is a peacefulness that you're looking and find within yourself, that you are dancing to this lullaby into a dance of coming and going, giving and taking. Now you had 16 swords, and you get another 2 swords, which is 18, which then makes a 9. 9 is the completion. 9 is saying, yes, you realized something. Alberto Villoldo, all the cards I listed down below, so you can look. Alberto Villoldo, now fire is coming up. The number 19 is a 10, and it's speaking to this 10. You have a 10-10 portal, and saying, understand that the fire makes the world go around. Action. When we take action, things can shift and change to the better, hopefully. And fire sometimes is now the fire to the masculine triangle, the action that wants to go up, the action that says, I am climbing up, I am wanting to go up. But here I have another one here. The fire comes through the volcano, and the volcano is spewing up, and that's how it gives you the energy to go up through the chakras into the 6th chakra, up into then the higher consciousness, the number 7, and the 7 that is giving you the hooray hooray card, right, from the E square 2 oracle. But you get from the animal spirit, the octopus, the number 8. And the number 8 is a water animal. And the water animal is, interesting enough, it feels like exactly what I said. The fire, which is the triangle, the masculine triangle pointing upward, and the water triangles pointing down, comes now the octopus. So these two cards are speaking directly to you through Gemini. That's saying unite the energy of fire and water, and the octopus is saying reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. If in balance, interested, engaged, and intelligent, right? Because the octopus signifies that he has no healthy boundaries. So there's an energy that is pushing your boundaries, and wants to come into your life and wants to melt in it. And so there is a water sign very clearly that maybe comes and pushes your buttons a little bit. And of course, you got to realize, you got to come into the true love, no matter how much the octopus is kind of like having no boundaries. True love is the only way how to tell someone to stop it, right? And then comes, very beautiful, the Knight of Swords, which is then a Gemini. Right, so the Gemini is speaking to you. Follow this one thought, follow this one energy, follow this clear, beautiful central energy of the rose that was able to grow when you combine fire and water, right? Too much fire, no good. Too much water, no good. Combine it and see how this rose is helping you to then understand that you can go to the next level mentally, go forward into the next card, which is the last row, which is the Creativity Oracle. Here also like a bird that is liberating itself. It's almost like it's saying, yes, I am this bird, this clear thought. I am coming down, but I'm taking the risk for a moment, because the card is the number 35, again an 8 to the 8 arms of the octopus, and it's saying be aware, or you will have to beware. Do not deny the risk and hazards that you see, right? And the risk and hazards, when you come down from here, being up here and flying high with that one thought, with that one love, with that one financial energy, with that one sword that's pointing up and has the rose in the center, right? Overcoming this kind of nightmare and realizing that you are able to bring, even though there's risk in it, bring yourself into a 2 times 8, right? And it's very interesting because here, this was formed in France, 1888. This was in London, 1888 as well. 3 times 8. Why do you think they use that number? 3 times 8. 3, the power to know that the Earth star is helping us to be very powerful. Nevertheless, they weren't succeeding. They dissipated. Maybe it's now a secret order still somewhere, but they dissipated. They don't have their order anymore. So why is that? Because you get another 3 swords. So you had 18 swords, which was the 9, but now you have another 3 swords. 18 plus 3 is the number 21. You see now how powerful these cards speak to each other. So now you have to realize these 3, which is left out of a 21, is 3 swords: body, mind, and spirit, body, mind, and spirit, that you can maybe step up into higher consciousness through these three energies, right? The three spirits, right? The three graces. And it's always the heart, it's always the highest consciousness dwells in the heart, comes through the heart, comes through this rose, comes through uniting, comes through the middle step, that you can go up to the next step, that you can overcome this attachment, that you can overcome this world pain. The world is in a huge pain, war, famine, destruction. The world is not really realizing, the world is not being honored anymore, and you are here now, Saturn in Libra, hopefully giving it a push, giving it a big jump forward, a jump that's a 42, which is a 6, a jump into love, self-love, self-respect, a love that you can say, I did take the risk, but now I am aware, because I don't want to beware myself anymore. I deny the fact that, yes, sometimes the risk and the hazards that I see, I don't want to really see them, right? And they hit you anyway, no matter what you do. This world is difficult. This world is here to challenge us always, right? And then from this big jump, you go again into an 8. So you have here this 8, the emotional 8. You have here the risk, the 35, the 888 symbol. This one is Mercury in Sagittarius. We just had a full moon in Sagittarius. So you're taking a jump and another jump and another step, and you're saying, I want to take action with the sun in this Gemini. I want to be clear. I want to be honest. I don't want this anymore, right? And interesting enough, because this is also a sword here in his back. So you had 21 swords, and you get one more sword to it, which is 22. 22 major arcana. You have realized the path. A cycle is closing the world. The 22 major arcana are speaking to you, which is a portal in itself. 2 times 2 is the creativity and sexuality, in the creativity and sexuality. And you're jumping into it, and you say, yes, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go move forward. And I go now into the last card, which is Alberto Villolo's newest deck, the Shaman's Dream, speaking to you about sky writing the fates. And the 49 is then a 13, that when you go through a near death, go through a transformation, a big transformation, then you can write in the sky, new formulas, new signs that you want to be now more conscious. You take that step, you take that risk, you are ready to take on the information from a higher consciousness, because you've gotten through a deep transformation, and it's time to now live it. It's time to now say, yes, here I am, writing it in the sky, writing it into the world, so that the world can learn, like me, to really be a new consciousness that wants to come into this world, because everybody is challenged by what is happening right now, particularly to the war. But there's so many other places where we have war and no one is actually really looking at it. And so this path that you're taking has started in the last message, which was the 5 times 6 message, is helping the divine feminine to evolve. And you came up at the Ace, and 5 times 6, the 6 is your card, right? Because 15 is a 6. So already you took the leap. You're gonna take the leap again, because it's written in you that you, the only one that can really climb up, go to the third eye, and realize a higher consciousness is waiting here for us through you. That's it. I hope I see you in the next reading, because the path continues, right? Even though it looks like I have 3 rows and it looks like past, present, and future, it's a path because I have so many cards lying here. So here we have then, of course, in the next few days, the Earth is spinning in such a way that when we look at the Sun, we see the constellation Cancer then behind it. That's all about healing. That's all about real, true, deep healing. All the 22 swords that you have here, healing that and knowing that you onto something. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.